friends, we have heard about the use of male and female in our discussions about feminist thought, and I tell you that these two categories are the actual right, acceptable categories, and that we should stick to them, because male and female are complementary, that they are together in society, and they enjoy equal status because both of them are born human. So the term male and female is to be always kept in mind. But see, the moment that this word is left and another is used, then you can see biases and prejudices entering the scene. And the word for male is masculine, and the word for female is feminine. Now, masculine means man-like, and feminine means woman-like. But what is man-like? Try to think about it. How does one say that this is man-like? Which means that there is something in man which is different from there is something that is in woman, which is not true, which seems to be a construct that we have in our society. And some people who play with language, who coin words, who put meanings into words, and who have the power to use words in a particular manner, it is they who have played this mischief so far as Kate Millet is concerned. Therefore, we have to be clear about the connotations of the masculine and feminine. A woman can be masculine, a man can be feminine, and there will be no difference, because after all both of them are human, and they are maybe meeting certain demands that are made of them by the society. But then the difference between masculine and feminine is wrong. And these latter may be quite independent of biological sex, which means biologically there is no foundation of somebody being man-like and somebody being woman-like, and therefore they are wrong words, and this wrong is to be kept in mind always. Psychological personality is postnatal and learned. Now see how witty the statement is. Postnatal means that when you are born, after the birth, you become psychosexual personality. Sexual personality is fine. One is a woman, the other is a man. That is fine. But what is psychosexual? Psychosexual means that you start thinking as a woman, you start thinking as a man, which is wrong, because thinking then is coming not from your birth. Thinking is coming from your immediate environment. Initially, it is family. Later on, it is neighborhood. And still later, it is educational. So just see that psychosexual personality is postnatal, it comes after birth, and it is learned. It is learned. Learned means the child looks around with curiosity. The child needs help. The child asks for understanding from his or her mother and father and uncles and the rest of the people inside the home, and later on outside. So what you are told is what you start believing in. So that way, psychosexual is to be reconsidered. It should be examined. It should be seen for the truth that is there inside it. And if you can see that truth, you know that the influence is coming into the man or the woman from outside, then you would know that outside world is to be considered carefully, alertly, and explored for its aims and objectives. After all, it is necessary for all human beings to use one's mind in order to understand our surroundings. Our surroundings are not natural surroundings, they are social surroundings. And in that society, there are groups which are more powerful than others. And these groups create ideas and implement them. Sometimes they say something very good things, but implement those things in their own way. So whatever the case, people become, influenced by, the psychological pressures, the pressures from language, the pressure from values, the pressures from principles of life, and those pressures finally become a part of one's personality, and one is not even sure about what they meant. Because of our social circumstances, then I say, mark the word social circumstances, because circumstances are a set of happenings, are a set of presences in our life, and it is they who always regulate us. We look at the circumstances and we accordingly behave. and if we behave according to the requirements and needs of the circumstance, then we are not actually following our inner strength, our inner dynamism, our inner desires and all those things. We are always being asked to perform a role. Imagine a person should behave like oneself, but the person starts playing a role. You can see that very clearly in the case of India and in the case of other countries also, that your role is what you are. So you are a child, you are a son. You are a child and you are a daughter. So behave like a daughter, behave like a son. Later on, you behave like your father, you behave like your mother. Still later on, you behave like your teacher, and you behave like the follower. So just see that your name actually doesn't mean anything to you, because your name is your identity. What is important is how you behave. So circumstances play that kind of a role in a person's life, and male and female, according to it, are really two cultures. There should be one culture, the human culture. There should be one socially unified culture, but that's not true. There is a male culture and there is a female culture. You are all, most of you, who hear this lecture are from India, and in India, you know that it is very clearly, popularly said to the male that the world outside is governed by the male, by the man. The Bahari Dunya, the outer world, actually is at the behest of the male demand, because that is male domain. And what about the female? The female manages the house. House means a house, a place surrounded by four walls, and there is a ceiling above, and that is a closed kind of a thing, and the woman is supposed to belong there. And the house has a role to play, of course. The house has to think about the food, about getting ready for going outside or remaining inside, reading a book, and taking part in the exam and all those things. But then there are two cultures, and their life experiences, the circumstances and the life experiences of people are utterly different, and this is crucial. So this is the point I am making, that the outside world is one thing, the inside world is another. That the circumstances, social circumstances, actually call the shots. It is they which tell you what is essential in your life, and that will earn you respect and appreciation. If you don't do that, if you flout that, then you will be open to punishment and penalization. So just say the word crucial again, either this or that, and one is harmful, the other is dangerous, the other is good. And imagine, if you know what is good, then it is not your inner feeling, it is that you are told that something good is this. So therefore, both good and bad ideas prevalent in society and in circumstances are actually making your choices for you. Not that you are making your choices, the words that come from elsewhere, from the outside world and the inner and the inside world of the home, or from one culture and another culture, it is they, we are different. They are actually not different, but they are made different by the people who control the society, and that is what is to be understood in this case. In contemporary terminology, in today's language, that is, the basic division of temperamental trait is marshaled along the line of aggression is male and passivity is female. Would you agree? I think most of us would agree that this is the case, that if you have to play football, that it has to be a man. If you play cricket, it has to be a man. And passivity is female. If you have to sing, if you have to dance, if you have to entertain the guests, then you have to be a female. And entertaining guests means you merely welcome the guests and then serve them items of food and drinks, and you do sweet talk, and you ask about the welfare of their children and their family, and they'll ask back from you only those questions which you have rehearsed all your life. That is passivity. So female is passivity, and she'll behave the role of a female. So imagine the woman is an actor. The woman is an actor on stage of the family, and there she is performing the role of a passive individual, a passive citizen, a citizen who doesn't think, a citizen who serves. That is a woman. So a woman has been reduced to a player, an actor who will act, play, or perform the role of a passive person. And a passive person is one, who doesn't think, who only accepts whatever is told. And then aggression is male. What is aggression? Aggression is emphatic, expression of intent. That is aggression. You talk loudly, you shout, and shouting and talking loudly is actually passing an order. So you are actually ordering other people to behave in a certain manner. And if a woman does that, then eyebrows are raised. If a male, is gentle, if a male, is respectful to others, then that is supposed to be unmale-like. This is what is contemporary terminology. And see the language. The language is aggression is male, passivity is female, and that actually defines the person, the identity of the two sexes, the female and the male, and that is to be considered for that reason. In the matter of conformity is agreement. In the matter of conformity, patriarchy is a governing ideology without peer. Patriarchy is the ideology. This has to be understood carefully, because patriarchy is a social system, but then here it is also considered an ideology. There is a whole thinking that follows the lines of patriarchal order. What is the patriarchal order? That the father rules, and the father is the ruler. Father is not merely the person who was a part of giving birth to a child, because there the equal share was done by the woman also. But then the ruler in the family is father. He's supposed to have fathered children. Mothering is a new idea. It's a 20th century idea, but generally the children are fathered. Why do I say this? Because for a long time, and even today, a large number of people give their identity as somebody's son. You must have seen, in England and America, and perhaps also in India, that the father is Richard and his son is Richard's son. Father is Peter and the son is Peter's son. So just that is enough. So these are patriarchal words, that all names of children will come from the father, and that is, of course, when you say I'm this person's son, then that you say it with pride, and other people also recognize you as an extension of the father inside your home, and you carry the weight of the opinion of the father. So it's a governing ideology in that sense. Then you have watched your father from the first day of your existence, and you have watched till you are 18, till you are of the age of casting a vote. You have finished. You have been a finished individual, a citizen by that time, and in fact you are a replica of your father. So patriarchy is a kind of a model that children inside the home, and women also, are supposed to follow. So if there is a girl who has seen the father behaving in a manner that is all the time thinking of order and telling you what is right and wrong, then by the time she becomes mature, till the age of 18, she would have understood that her role is that of listening to the father. Listening to the father, when the father has disappeared from her life and another person called husband has replaced him, then of course, once again, initially in the first few months or so, the husband is the would-be father of the children that the woman would produce. So the same cycle would be repeated, and the same ideas will be transferred from the previous home to the next home, and that chain will go on and on. And if that goes on in this manner, then that is the ideology of the family. So without peer, there is nothing better than this. There is no comparison. The only truth is that patriarchy is the governing ideology. Now the word governing is used very carefully. It could be also ruling. But governing is somewhat different from ruling. Ruling is passing an order. Governing means that you govern overall. You use the harsh word, you also use the firm word. So the harshness and firmness are two different things. Harsh is, you sometimes don't like it, but if it's firm, then you know that this is right, and that's why you are firm. Sometimes sweetly also. That also convinces you that the right thing is being told to you. So governing has a mixture of the loud, the gentle, and the firm. So that ideology, without peer, it's probable that no other system has ever exercised such a complete control over its subjects. Think about this particular statement carefully. The word subjects is used. Subject has two meanings very clearly in theoretical discussions. One meaning is that you are a person, you are a subject, an active person, that's a subject. The other is that you are actually a follower, or you are a slave, that also is subject. I hope you know the two meanings inherent in this word. One is that you are the active person, and secondly that you are the slave. And so you have the rulers and you have the subjects. Subjects are the people who are common people. So they are subjects. So complete control over its subjects, obviously, and patriarchy does it. So it's not individuals who rule you; it is the system that rules you. It is the ideological makeup in society, followed by all of the people, that rules you. And therefore, in a way, you start thinking that conforming to this order, agreeing with this order, adapting this to become your thinking point, that is what is important. So see the danger. The danger is that you hear an idea initially as something that is outside you, finally becoming a part of you, and you start believing that to be the truth, and therefore of course take it further in the light of the title that is given by this author. It becomes political, in the sense that when you move out, you join a job, and there is an office, and the office also has an order. So you will see that you will have to conform to the rules there. You have to agree with the rules there. And what are the rules there? Actually, the office also is a replica of the home of the father. The school institution, the college institution also is a replication of the home, because there also you have a principal, you have a high school master, you have a hierarchy there, and that hierarchy, and till the other day, most of the offices would have only men as the workers. Now women also have entered the field, but even today you will find that in the office, women work in a corner, or sit in a corner, they talk quietly in a corner, and men shout from a distance. That is still there. And women accept it, because that's what they have learned from home. So if there is a boss, then the boss is a male. Sometimes the boss is a female also. But then if there is a kind of a fight between a female boss and a tough individual under her, then other things start working. So finally, patriarchy enters the head of the subordinate, and the female boss is not able to carry as much conviction in the office as she might, as a male in her case would have done so. So just see the different shades of patriarchy operating in the atmosphere of not just the home, but also of the school and also of the office. So it's such a, when I say such a complete control over its subjects, what I mean is that it's a role that is basically done in order to run a system, and run a system to the advantage of men. Then sociological, I come to the end of the discussion now. Sociological already has been explained to some extent. Patriarchy's chief institution is the family. So I'll finish my discussion explaining briefly this idea. Patriarchy is a chief institution. Patriarchy's chief institution is the family. Would you agree? Earlier I was using marriage and home, but then family is the chief institution, and family, of course, is not the nuclear family. Family is the whole country, which is the family. So family has that kind of tentacles of ideas that spread from the small little home, small little matrimony, where the family operates, and from there it just spreads out to other areas of life. And finally, you see that the most important, institution in a system is the family. And if that institution is the family, then we started with the definition of, politics, that there are methods and tactics that are used to manage the system, manage the government, and those tactics actually are forged, that they are made, that they are developed, and they are regular, they are used deftly by those powerful individuals who follow the model of the male. So it is the male who governs the entire system, the entire society, and the male is a metaphor. The male is the powerful male individual who is masculine in nature. And you know that the state is a very powerful weapon in the hands of the ruling classes, but the powerful weapon has so many connotations. One important connotation is that the state is able to punish you. So the state is there to give you orders, and the understanding of the order comes from the family. So we have come to the conclusion of this, that unless this patriarchy is understood in its true role, one cannot think ever of modifying the political system to the advantage of all human beings at the level of equality. So this is the conclusion. It's an open conclusion. You can think of your own ideas, you can mix them with this, you can modify those ideas, but please see that there is a role that males play in a manner that women would not play in the existing system. Thank you.